the economy for the last 37 years has been growing at a rate of 6.2% per annum, GDP, the growth rate and this has been mainly in quantitative growth. Grow more coffee, grow more tea, have more cotton. That's why the economy has been growing well, 6.2%. But now, what we're talking about is qualitative. It's not just the raw materials, now adding value to the raw materials. If you transform all the cotton into textiles, then you add value to the coffee, and that's why I want to warn those people who have been campaigning our coffee value addition efforts. I need to warn them. They must stop. We know who they are and who are behind them. They want us to continue exporting raw materials. They want us to continue exporting unprocessed coffee. They want us to keep on importing dead people's clothes from outside instead of developing our textile industry. Even some people have been fighting our refinery. They don't want us to build a refinery. They want us to continue importing, they want us to export crude, and then we import finished products. This one will not happen. And I need to warn those who are involved because we are going to move on them. The campaigning, anybody who tries to help us add value, pretending to, they are agents of imperialism. So the economy will shift from growing at the rate of 6.2% to growing at the rate of 8% because it is both quantitative growth and qualitative transformation. Let me repeat that section. The implementation of the interventions to accelerate economic growth through productivity improvements and value addition to our abundant raw materials in the anchor sectors of agro-industrialization, oil and gas, mineral development, tourism, and knowledge economy development will shift the economic growth path to a level of 8% per annum on average over the medium term. This is what I was explaining. Not just growing more coffee, growing more, having more cows. No. It is because those are all raw materials. If I export unprocessed coffee, I get $2.5 for the very good coffee per kilo, what they call screen 18. But if I add value to that kilo, I get $40. This is what these people don't want us to do. They want us to continue exporting unprocessed coffee to be roasted in Italy, in I don't know where. Those people get all the money, get all the jobs, and for us we continue getting this the residue at the bottom. This is not acceptable. And the agents are very active, agents of the imperialists. Mao Zedong called them comprador bourgeoisie, agent bourgeoisie.
This is the word of our own Yoweri Museveni talking about the initiative to improve the raw material, especially in their country. This is not the first video that I have come across about our own talking about how he wants to improve their country, especially especially where he is really adamant to say we are no more longer going to export. We are no more longer going to export our raw material. So imagine the production of coffee and tea. They have vast of raw material, or they have vast of natural resources, diamond, oil, tins. They have a lot, and also crude oil. And last week also he was speaking of opening some factories, just because he put his foot down to say, I am no longer going to export our raw material. So anyone who want to do business with us, so they have to come and put their product or their factories, so they have to come down and put their factories in our country, because now we have realized that they are coming to Africa to get our natural resources, but all the steps, all the processes to the final product, these things or this process, they are going to be done in their own country, and that in that way they are going to create job for their own children. When it's come to cotton, job for their own children. When it's come to diamond, job for their own children. So it's just a lot. And he did this, I think he was saying since 2003, somewhere there, that, or 2013, where he said he is no longer going to export their raw material. And you know that when an African leader is really fighting for their own countries and they really working hard, so they are the one who are being labeled to as their dictatorship, their arrogance, they are staying on power for so many years. And maybe these are the reasons sometimes where people are staying on power, because sometimes we want to understand, as long as these leaders, they are not coming out to fight for the betterment of their people in their own countries, then it's fine. But he is always advocating for their country to start producing from, because they are already producing from the initial phase to the end product. So that policy of the Western people, or that policy where the African leaders, they are also trying to ask themselves, is there any policy that inhibit us not to industrialize or not to manufacture our own product, or to start processing our own product to the finishing line? So those things, is there any policy that's saying that? Because most of the African countries or most of the African leaders, they are always coming out to speak out on this. And so he's one of the leaders that really is working and fighting for his own people. And again, he said, I want to warn those people who are busy campaigning our coffee, because he said that he wants the Ugandan to start processing their own coffee, not just exporting the raw material, but from the raw material to roasting to the finished product. So those things, he wants them to be done in his own countries. But again, we have those one in the continent that they are always next to the clever people, and they're the one who are always giving out tips and fighting back when this one is working for his own people, and there are those one that are being imposed, or those one that are being infiltrated, so that whatever realization, whatever ideas or realization or dream that this president is thinking of or dreaming to say, this is what we want for our country to start exporting the final product when it's come to coffee and tea, there are those ones that are busy campaigning the initiative. And that's why now he said, we know them, and we are just sending a very strong warning to stop. Because imagine you are in that country and you are also campaigning for the progress, for the development of your own people. So it doesn't work like that. That's why sometimes we don't understand where we have a lot of people that are crying out for help, that are crying out to create job. But there are also people who are also busy campaigning any initiative that is coming into the country. So it's just very sad, but he put it out there that he know them and they better stop. So that is the word of President Museveni, because this guy, when he speak, we listen, because he's spitting out the truth and how things they should be done, so that we know that we were not supposed to be subjected or pushed to the corner just because we don't have power to refuse, because he resisted them for so many years, and now they are coming to invest in his own country. Now they are processing from the initial phase. If it's coffee or if it's the raw material, they put their own factories in Uganda as we are speaking, and that is the good thing, that a leader can do it for their own people. So thank you so much for watching. If you have watched up to this far, kindly subscribe to my channel, like the video, and comment down below so that we can continue with the conversation, and turn on your notification so that you can be notified whenever I upload a new video. And